Preference weapon warping is back, and we're gonna have calves flying everywhere in Summoner Duels. I don't even know what to do. This unit is really good. Let's talk about where she excels and where she doesn't. She really looks amazing. They knocked it out of the park with the art. They have been doing so lately, though. I don't remember the last real downer they had. All right. I don't know if you saw the forecast there, though. It was ×4. So, I mean, you know what's coming. And we have to pull up the cheat sheet because this is just a mess, right? Okay. We have Absolute Amity. We've got Kanto 2, which is excellent on a flyer. Slaying, also excellent. Omni +5. And attack speed +X. And X equals 11 minus foe's max cooldown ×2, minimum 3. That's a mouthful, right? So you want the lower cooldown here. The lower cooldown, the better. And I mean, if they have 2 cooldown, for instance, it's going to be 7. That's really good. Low cooldown specials are everywhere right now, and that's a big thing. And yeah, they continue to punish anyone with slaying. It's really interesting. So we've got that. We've got Dual Phase Brave, which is always good. You look at the Dual Phase Brave weapon users, and they can be used for a long time. Winter Altina comes to mind. Heck, OG Altina comes to mind. Even with that amazing refine, even before that, she was still usable. And then offensive tempo, which is something that's very necessary for this unit. She's going to lack a little bit in damage output, because you notice the first thing here that you're missing is true damage or piercing. And that's a big deal. We're going to talk about that more, but that's something that you really need to be a true nuke in this meta. Like, damage reduction is just handed out like candy. So anyway, this is all good. She's going to be fast. She's going to hit hard. Let's do real quick, though, Heart of Crimea, and we'll circle back to the other skills here. Now, Heart of Crimea it's kind of like Flying Ash. But for Summoner Duels, because Summoner Duels favors flyers. All of the maps, flyer movement is absolutely amazing. They try to keep every other unit from going places, but they love flyers. And this one gives out NFU to opponents or to allies within 2 spaces and this unit, which again, if you're thinking about calves and flyers, it's harder for them to get null follow-up. But it's also good for armors. I mean, this is really excellent. She's just giving these skills out for free to everyone. Warping to all, which, I mean, what do you say about that? Like, that is going to be interesting. And I'm sitting here thinking about calves because that is the thing that they haven't have. If you even go back to the yearly report with with PM1, we were talking about having calves being able to warp, and here we've got it. Now, will the maps really benefit from that? Yeah, I think so. I think warping on calves is going to be a lot of fun. It's not going to be as dominant for melee calves, but because just, you don't have as much range. Other than that, I've got it. This is a rain. Really, this is more of a hold, but Omni -4 within 4 spaces. So, support unit. This is a support unit through and through. Again, the lack of damage output is going to be huge. We've seen melee flyers do this well before, and the thing is, this unit doesn't have adaptive damage and doesn't have, again, there isn't really a way to get damage on a unit. You are going to probably be able to proc Dragon Fang, which is great, boosting damage by 50% of units attack. That's fantastic. But again, if you think about this unit going up against someone like, name a near save, and this unit is not going to be able to pierce it. Because of that, you're probably not going to want to use this unit in any sort of Aether raids unless you pair her up with legendary Alir, but you have to have 2 seasons aligned. Like you have to have wind, fire season, and that's the only time you can use them. If you're talking about summoner duels, you go to the fact that most of the time people are only using far saviors, so it is much easier to run in and pick someone off and then run back. The ability to warp around the map is going to be absolutely fantastic, as we're going to get to with aerial maneuvers. Unit can move to a space within 2 spaces of an ally within 2 spaces. And we've seen this a ton of times with Sonya and with Tana. This is not a new thing, and it's very good. It is better with ranged, but this is still excellent to have, and it's great that you have it in a B skill now for flyers. I believe that will be melee locked. I'm almost positive of that, so we'll see when it comes out, but I'm pretty sure on that one. And then at start of combat, if both unit and foe's HP is greater than 50%, inflict speed defense -4 on foe during combat. And also, if unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack during combat. There are a lot of things in this B skill that are really nice and will probably be excellent on some other flyers as well. Anyway, but remember the thing is, like, again, in summoner duels, you don't have a whole lot of near saves, and this unit is really going to be able to take advantage of that. I think this is designed for summoner duels through and through, although for arena, this unit is going to be ridiculous. I mentioned that less because, good lord, merging these units up is expensive. Elincia fans, though, you gotta be happy about this. Like, this is a fantastic unit. I think she will be strong now. I think her offensive potential will fade. I think her support potential, giving out null follow-up and warp, is going to stay for a while. And I would love to fodder off that aerial maneuvers. I just don't know if I can stomach foddering off an Elincia, because I think this unit is just excellent. Let's go ahead and move on and see what the rest of the banner looks like. First, we'll see Elincia kick some butt. Of course, with Lucia next to her. Yep, and there's the warping in full effect. Taking out Dogger? Like, is that the best unit they could come up with? that's not really impressive. You know what? We could go through all this. Let's just jump right to the chart here and show you guys. You guys have seen the animations by now, and you don't need to see them again. What is there to say? I mean, red is the color. Seriously, I can't say enough good things about red. I like Fallen Crom a lot better than most. I think he is a slept-on unit, and exposure is such a good skill. But Hinoka is an absolute world breaker in the meta right now. In Name Your Season, there is an archetype, there's a defense archetype built around her in a flyer line that is actually getting better now with all the different things you can do. And I'll have one shown off here in the coming weeks when you see the next meta report. I'm actually going to make a separate line for them. Like, they're that good right now. But yeah, Hinoka is amazing, and I hesitate to say this, but almost a must-have. Like, you want a copy of Hinoka. Elincia, I don't know that Elincia is a must-have, but dang it, she's nice. Like, warping is amazing, and you don't have to choose between Soaring Guidance and Guidance 4. You just get warp for everyone, including Cavs. What do you say about that? Blue is wretched. Just absolutely horrible. I don't know what to do with blue. I mean, if these are your favorite units, like, definitely this is a chance to go get them. From a meta standpoint, they aren't really moving the needle. I really thought Gilliam was going to be better, and as a far save, he's just not cutting it. As a near save, he can definitely get some use, especially because ranged and melee nukes are so prevalent right now. Green is the second worst. I still like Byleth, and I think he's going to get a good refine. I love Dogger, but understand that is not me telling you to go summon for Dogger. I have Dogger as one of my mythics, one of my merged ones, and I just constantly find uses for her. I don't know if, like if you're starting off, I'm not going to tell you to go out and get Dogger though. That's your starting mythics are easily going to be Peony and Asker, and yeah, Oter is. I just keep on remembering what KCB said in his review of the upcoming banner here, and he said, "Was Oter ever good?" There was a hot minute. There was a hot minute when Oter did well. Colorless is the second best here. I love Fallen Maria. I think she is the answer to a lot of problems we have, and really trying to solve the issue of what do we do with nukes that are this strong. Fallen Maria. Claude has lost a step, and whew. So back when I liked Gateau so much, and I really liked Gateau, that was right before we got the huge jump in nukes. And he just can't hang with the nukes that came out in the months after him. But we kind of knew that. Enemy phase mythics, just because you keep them for so long, aren't great. And Gateau was a lot of fun. But again, if you're starting off your light team, that is not where you're going. Yeah, let's get to the tier list though and talk about those. First, we need to look at the win rankings. I have this as the best wind mythic, period. It's not close to me. I like this unit a lot better than Yuri. And Vero, I really like Vero, but she has lost a little value because speed creep just keeps going up. And more importantly, the level of nukes, again, has just jumped dramatically. Remember, Gateau actually does very well against Vero. That was back when that was all going on, and they just keep on getting crazier and crazier. And there's stuff that we haven't even summoned for, like Lysithea. Like, who has a Lysithea? Like 2 people? Those 2 people are really happy, though. She's really good. But there have just been so many nukes, and the onslaught has just been ridiculous that a lot of these units that are still good, like I have her in tier 0, but she is definitely, her stock is falling as opposed to rising. Again, the thing about Elincia is right now you've got a strong unit, and later on you've got a strong support. Speaking of supports, that's where I'm ranking her. And if you look at this, I have got her. Now this is kind of like a realism coming in here, and understand that this is, the supports recently have been nuts. I say that every time we hit this. I say it's true. Look at like Legendary Robin, Brave Robin, so many Robins, Asker, Ellawood. Like, these are really meta-defining units, all of them. And I've got her up there. Like, I usually try to keep this down to like 2, but I wanted to make sure you guys saw that she's like at the tail end of tier 1 for me. I do like her better than tier 2 ones, like the healing you get from Guinevere, and the of course the null follow-up and the terrain ignorer from Lind. Those you kind of get into the situationally good. Like tier 1 is the solid good, and of course meta tier is just, this is what's defining what's out there right now. Elincia is still, this is a really good tier. Like I don't want anyone to get disappointed if Elincia is your favorite. I think Elincia is a good investment. I think you're going to like having her for a very long time. Thank you to all the members. And speaking of win season, in the holoforms right now, if you're looking to build a Lyn, I just did a whole bunch of sims with her, and I don't know if you noticed back up top, but I had her much higher than most people would. And listen, she is very, very good. Feud has gained so much value. Go check out that video. I hope everyone is doing well. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.